I'm live. Woohoo! Guys, welcome everybody. I am alive. I'm grateful to be alive today. It is another beautiful day. Let me turn off my phone, guys. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So, welcome, Alex. All right. Before we get started, I want to share some announcements. And so, guys, Saturday, the 26th, hopefully, we're still having our prison invasion, which is next Saturday. So those of you that are going, we're meeting at 6 o'clock in the morning here at the church, which is a week from this Saturday. And our fundraiser plate. So we are raising money for our organization, and I still have tickets. So last week I announced that we have tickets. What I have is sets of 10. So just Leon had really sold a lot of these. He's already sold over 150 tickets. Yeah, he's really and he has about 100 more. So, but these tickets are in packs of 10. So if you would like to help us, by taking one or two or whatever of these tickets, you can take some. What I'm doing is I'm going to friends and family and tell them, hey, here's 10 tickets. Just buy 10 tickets and give them away or but anyway, that's what I'm doing. But if you're interested in helping a little bit, you can get some tickets tonight from me. And it's going to be uh, April 2nd. Uh, let me see. Well, where? It's on the ticket. April 2nd. And we are going to be on the corner of 495 and Jackson. 495 in Jackson. And we're going to be, so people can come pick up their plates there. So aquí dice en el ticket, between 10:30 and 1:30 p.m. So we're going to be there on the side of the street. We're going to be at a parking lot, and signs are going to be volunteers. You can also come and help us if you want to come help us. There's some people that are already going to cook the meat. There's some people that are going to cook the chicken. And we still need people to cook beans and rice, and I think we're having potatoes. So hopefully someone can help us. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? As far as that plate sale, we're still needing donations for that plate sale. HEB donated $200. Shout out to HEB there from Edinburgh. They donated $200 for us. So we're moving forward, but I have to announce it. And then that's how we raise money. We're starting to raise money, and we have a lot of items here for sale. And I'm doing this for not only you guys here, but those who watch online. I'm wearing my going to the top shirt. These are the shirts we sell here because it's too crowded on the bottom. I think he has them. There they are. There they are. We sell these shirts here. Those are the prices, and these are donations, is what it is. Because we have these items so that if you want to help and donate, instead of just donating, at least you get something. So this is what these items are designed to do. So there's the shirts that we have. We also have caps. They're in the back. These go for $25. Remember, they're donations, and you get a cap. I also have my book back there, Dead Man Walking. We sell these for $10. And again, this is how we raise money for our organization. I also have a book back there that I haven't mentioned in a while that I want to mention here. This one we sell them for $20. Now the reason I sell this one for $20 is because this is how much you'll get it for if you go to on Amazon. You'll probably get it for $20. And because that's what it costs, because it's a very, very good book. It's called The Compound Effect. It's a personal development book. And it teaches you, in fact, a little bit I'm going to talk about today about personal growth, the power of personal growth. It helps you understand the power of personal growth and how our habits and our attitudes compound throughout the years, and we wind up where we don't want to wind up, doing what we don't want to do, driving what we don't want to drive. just things. Anyway, it's a powerful book. It's called The Compound Effect. The Compound Effect. Jumpstart your income, your life, and your success. It's a really, really powerful book. I learned a lot from this book. That's why I have it there, and I recommend it to people. So there you have it. That's our announcements for today. One more last announcement. I think everybody got a flyer. Got a flyer? Let me see. Where is it? Next week, I met this lady. She does works for a company about that they do. I'm sure they do personal finance advice and so forth. But she's gonna do a free class here next week, and it's gonna be a free class on this right here, money, how money works. I really think that it's part of personal growth, learning how to manage your money. Uh, that's just part of life. So I think it was going to be help all of us. We'll learn a little something as we continue to build our little foundation for our future and our lives. So that's going to be next week, the 24th, and right here. So we're going to start as soon as we can on that day. Anybody else have anything else to say or mention? Did I forget anything? No? Well, welcome to Choose a Change. My name is Oran Salinas. I am a proud member of the Choose a Change mentoring program. The Choose a Change mentoring program is a self-supporting Christian-based group sponsored by the Choose the Change Foundation. There's no fee to attend here, but we do encourage donations from our members and to anyone who believes in what we do. The only requirement for membership in here is a sincere desire to change your life. We are on a mission to restore families by inspiring, challenging, and equipping men to become more effective fathers, husbands, and leaders in our community. So if you're ready to change your life, then you are in the right place. Through this program, you will learn exactly where to start your life change journey, tools and resources that I'm going to give you today to keep going, and a support system, which is our class and our church, to help you reach your goals. The Choose a Change mentoring program believes in 3 key principles of life. Number 1, we believe in the life-changing power of God through faith in Jesus Christ. Number 2, we believe that God, He's already done His part. And it's our responsibility to learn to do our part. And number 4, that success or failure is a choice. And the choice is yours. So if you're ready, say, I'm ready. All right. Guys, I want to talk about the power of personal growth today. The power of personal growth. In case you didn't know this, but this idea of personal growth, personal development, I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know about it. It never even occurred to me that there was such a thing as personal growth. I had no idea. I learned this in prison. I mean, had you heard of personal growth before? Has that word even come to you before? Okay, everybody's like that. That starts learning about personal growth. Personal growth has to do with when you decide, if you decide and when you decide to make a better life for yourself, to change, to get sober, you're going to start learning about personal growth. The reason we never heard about it, Chavarria, is because we never cared. That's it. So and plus nobody ever told us about it, you know? Nobody. But so we don't understand life change. Think about this for a minute. Think about this for a minute. If you understood how life really worked, how to be successful, don't you think you would do it? Why haven't you been more successful? Or why have your life fallen apart? Lack of personal growth. I'm telling you, that's what it is. So I want to talk about personal growth today. I want to talk to you about the power of personal growth, because really this class is all about personal growth. All about personal growth. So let's talk about this for a minute. Personal growth. In the Bible, there's the Apostle Paul. Who knows who the Apostle Paul is? Who've heard of him? A few people. The Apostle Paul claimed, and he said, the Bible says that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Who's heard that? I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. We put that saying on like that plaque over there, right? We put it on, and we post it, right? So if that's true, well, what is he talking about? What does he mean by that? I can do all things. As Christians, we believe that. We believe that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. What does that mean? What exactly does that mean? Where is that scripture when you're struggling and you're failing and you're depressed and lonely? What happened? I'm telling you, it's personal growth. The power of personal growth is what's going to make your life, your career, and your relationships better. So I'll get to the Apostle Paul here in a minute, and I'll read you a little bit more about what he said there. But let me explain to you the power of personal growth. See, it doesn't matter what level you are currently at right now in your skill sets, in your abilities. It doesn't matter where you're at, Chavaria. This desire, but if you have this desire, which is what I teach here, for self-improvement, for change, this desire is the factor that will push you through and bring your life from good or to great, or from disaster to better, right? Because you can go from disaster to better to good to great. That's how it usually works. Why? Because it's a process. Is your life getting better, Chavaria? Amen. Did it get better from one day to the next? No, it's a process. So it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter where you start and where you are. What matters is that you want to change. And personal growth is the power that's going to keep you going. So let's talk about that for a minute. The power of personal growth is what it's going to take you to the top. The power of personal growth is what's going to take you to the top. And this is why I'm wearing my shirt today. Because I'm telling you, this idea of going to the top came to me when I was in prison. Because I read a book that said, over the top. And in that book, he says, I'll see you at the top. And I said, you know what? I'm going to the top. That's where I got it from. In prison, Alex. In a prison cell. When it didn't look very bright for me. Personal growth, faith in God, helped me move forward. And this is what I'm trying to teach you today. So what is personal growth? Or personal development? What is that? How do you define it? What is it? So let me help you define it. If you Google personal growth, here's what you're going to get. It's going to say this. It's going to say it refers to the self-improvement of your skills, your knowledge, your personal qualities, life goals, and your outlook. That's what it's going to say. In other words, personal growth is about you getting better. That's what it. I was reading this article. I have this article here. Let me take it out. Listen to what this article says. It's called The Power of Personal Growth. And, this is what I've been feeding my mind for years. And every time I speak to someone, and my family, my son, this is what I speak about. It's hard for me not to speak about it. Because this is what changed my life. And this is the only thing that's going to change your life and make you better. There's nothing else. There will never be a day, this article says, in your life that will not require dedication, discipline, good judgment, energy, and the feeling that you can improve. And then, in other words, every day you get up, think about this for a minute. And when I read that, I said, Let me finish reading it. He says, each day offers a number of opportunities for improvement, and each moment serves as an advance or a retreat. I said, wow, in the pursuit of your goals. And I said, wow, that's a powerful statement. I used to have to read that like over and over and over and over. And you may have to when you start learning this stuff to try to understand it, to digest it. What does this mean? Well, what it means is that every day we have to get up, even though we don't feel like going, right? To work or to do what we're supposed to do. Read the book, go to the class, go do this, go do that, go to church, come to choose the change, right? Sometimes we don't feel like doing it, right? But we force yourself, right? Because you know that that's what you're supposed to do. You have to be responsible. That's personal growth. That's what that is. And every day, he says, I like the way he puts it. Every day, you have an opportunity to either advance in life or retreat. I said, wow, that makes a lot of sense. When you don't want to give up, or when you want to give up, right? You get to that breaking point where you want to say, where you just want to throw in the towel, right? And you have to make a decision. That's why it's called choose to change. Because at those moments, you have to make a decision. And he's talking about you're either going to advance or you're going to retreat. Let me continue reading this. He says personal growth or personal development is a lifelong pursuit because life is a work in progress. See, I started reading this stuff. This is why I started teaching this, because I know that what I teach is the only thing that's going to take you to the top. There's nothing else. This is it. This is what matters in life. If you're going to have money, you're going to need personal growth. If you're going to have a good relationship, you're going to need personal growth. If you're going to have a good business, you're going to need personal growth. Period. That's it. Otherwise, you will live a miserable life. And that's why so many people are depressed and miserable, because they're trying to find answers and they don't understand that it's in them. But it starts with God. Personal development is a lifelong pursuit because it's a work in progress. You never totally arrive. There's always some polishing to do in our life, knowledge to gain, and love to be deepened. Something to improve. He goes on to say, our fight is not external, it lies internally. Have you ever, maybe you've experienced this? Remember, personal growth. I'm talking about the power of personal growth. Have you ever experienced this? Everything's going well in your life. You have friends. You have a job. Things are going well, but yet you don't feel well. You haven't learned to enjoy and be content. You haven't learned to enjoy the good things, the little things. I'm telling you, I've learned to enjoy the little things. To just do. This is what Paul was talking about when he said, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Anybody know what he said before that? Any Bible scholars here? That's what he said. Let me read it to you. Here's what he said. He said, Paul the Apostle said, he said like this. Check this out. Listen to what he said. He said, finally, my brother. First, he told everybody, he's telling you, you know what? Be anxious for nothing. Don't worry about things. But by prayer and supplications, with gratefulness or thanksgiving, let your request be made known unto God, and the peace of God, which passes all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. So what it was telling us is that first you have to understand you need God. And he's the one that's going to give you peace in your mind. That's what he says. But then he says, finally, whatever things are true, whatever things are honest, whatever things are noble, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are our good report, if there's any virtue, if there's any praise in them, think on these things. He says that. Then he goes down to verse 10. He says, but I rejoice greatly in the Lord that now, at last, your care for me has flourished. Though you surely did care for me, but you didn't have opportunity. And then he says, but not that I speak because I need things, for I have learned. So there's some things that he had to learn, right? For I have learned in whatever state I am in, there to be content. And he goes on. He says, I know how to be abased. In other words, how to have nothing. And I know how to abound. He says, I know how to have a lot. He says, everywhere and in everything, I have learned. He's telling us that there's some things that he had to learn. To be full and to be hungry. Both to abound and to suffer need. And then he says, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. It's a process of personal growth, because personal growth is what's going to push you forward, whether you have or you have not. That's the power of personal growth. You need to understand that. Let me read a few more things right here, real quick. Let there be no doubt. As long as you continue to blame others instead of assuming your responsibilities, you will never make no meaningful and enduring change for the better. What kind of person or what kind of people are we if we don't have the character to own up to our own shortcomings and responsibilities? To have and enjoy certain liberties requires us to hold each other and ourselves accountable for our actions. And let me read one last thing in this article. To enjoy a better life, you must first become a better person. Remember, that's what we're talking about. Personal growth. Let me read that again. Listen closely. To enjoy a better life, you must become a better person. If you want to be a better manager, become a better person. If you want to be a better parent, become a better person. If you want to be a better doctor, become a better person. If you want to be a better leader, become a better what? Person. What is he trying to say? That no matter what area in life, no matter what you are, who you are, if you want to get better at anything, we must become better people. That's the power of personal growth. Personal growth. What I want to give you today is 10 keys to personal growth. Some things that you can start working on. Some things that are important. Things that I personally came up with this list. And not because I'm the one that came up with them, but because I've learned them throughout the years. And there's more, but I just wanted to give you 10. Right? So let's talk about those 10. Does anybody have anything to say right here before I move on? Personal growth. I want to give you 10 keys to improve your personal growth or to get you started. Maybe this is new to you. Let me help you. That's why I tell you need to take notes. My favorite student right here, look, she takes notes. Put her on the spot. No, es que I like when I see people taking notes. That means something. That means something. There's something about a person that takes notes. Not that you're better than everybody else, right? Just that you take notes. Because I can't keep everything in my mind. I took a lot of notes. They say, Jim Rohn, don't trust your memory. Anyway, by the way, let me give you 5 areas that you need to grow in. Did you know there's 5 areas? Because I'm telling you, I never even thought about these things. Check this out. Let me give you one. Your mental growth, right? Got to take care of our mental growth. Emotional growth. We have to deal with our emotions, right? Spiritual growth, which go hand in hand. Spiritual growth. Social growth. You know what social growth is? Can anybody give me an example of social growth? Social growth? What is social growth? Interacting with other people. Some of us don't know how to do that very effectively. Some of us are very good at it. But learning to deal with people is social growth. And the last one is physical growth. Not physical growth like physical, in other words, staying healthy. All right, guys. So let me give you this list. You all ready? Give you 10 keys for successful living. 10 keys for successful living. And then it shouldn't take me more than about 10, 15 minutes here. And we'll be done. You all ready? Number 1, become a problem solver, not an excuse maker. Become a problem solver, not an excuse maker. You have to always think problem solving. You know, I learned a long time ago in my job. Uh, I do remodeling. I do custom renovations. And when I go, um, I'm used to just figuring out what's wrong. I'm not trying to figure out what's right. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong so I can fix it. That's my job. So then that's something you can look at in your job. If we are a work in progress, then what you start focusing on, maybe on what's wrong, right? So you can fix it. It's a good way to look at your life. But sometimes sometimes we don't see things in ourselves. I know for a fact there's some things I don't see in myself. So then I try to listen to sermons, to books, and how to look at my shortcomings, right? So become a problem solver, not an excuse maker. Number 2, become a reader and a listener. The reason I said listener is because now I listen to audiobooks. Because it's easier. So I'm feeding my mind. Audiobooks. Remember, I'm giving you some powerful. By the way, these are not just any tips. I'm telling you, these things will change your life. I promise. Reading, Jim Rome said, uh, the person you will become in the next 5 years will be determined by the books you read and the people you associate with. How many believe that's true? It's true. I'm telling you, it's true. Who you will become in life in the next 5 years will be determined, period. Not by what you think, but by what you read or listen to, including music and the people you meet or associate with. Period. So you need to become a listener, lifelong learner. That's why you're here. Choose the change. Number 3, here's a good one. Improve your communication skills. Improve your communication skills. You know, I try to improve my communication skills, not only like from here, right? But with my wife or my son, it's hard. I'm not good at communicating a lot with everybody. We have to communicate differently with different people. So it's hard. So this is something you can to learn with. Communicating with your daughter, right? It's a process. It's like you have to learn it. And this kind of stuff we don't think about. I mean, have you ever thought about this? Not really, right? Because it's not something that we're taught. I'm telling you, this is something that has to be sought. You have to seek it out. Number 4, here's a good one for you. Learn a trade or a skill. Remember, we're talking about personal growth. Learn a trade or a skill. It's huge. You need to do that. Number 5, there's another good one. They're all good. Practice good hygiene. It's a good one, right? Smile. I have to, in my construction sites, there's some guys that don't smile. I had to tell them, hey, you need to smile. They come to work and they're like, and I understand why. I mean, nobody wants to come to work all the time. But we go to a customer's home and I say, hey, you need to smile and say hello, good morning. That's, teach them to do these things. But nobody ever taught me that. If they did, I forgot. Number 6, be a hard worker. Here's a good one for you. Do more than you get paid for. Do more than you get paid for. Don't worry about how much you get paid. I know. They don't pay me for that. Who's ever heard that? I don't get paid for that. Who's ever heard that? You ever heard that in your job, in your people, your employees? Because this is an attitude that a lot of people have. I don't get paid for that. This is huge. Just a huge one. You need to get it. No, don't worry about what you're getting paid. That's hard to do, right? That's really hard to do. But see, there's something about this. Not only is it spiritual, but don't worry about what you get paid for. Do it. Learn to be which is another one. Learn to be a servant. Learn to be a servant in your job. So here's what I learned. Here's what helped me a lot. I learned a long time ago that I'm going to work for God, not for my employer. And that's what I did. I'm not working for money. I'm working for God. It's a big difference. It makes a big difference. Because that means that everything you're doing is going to be good. Now I can go on and on with that one because, who do you think is going to get the promotion when it comes up between you and the other person? Who do you think is going to get the raise? You are. I promise you. Wouldn't that be the case as a business owner? It just makes sense. And that's how you climb. And just like that works in the workplace, it works in life. It works spiritually. There's just something about it that's how it works. When you give more. It's a law of sowing and reaping. It's the law of life. In fact, let me man, I like this one. I remembered something. When you sow, if you sow a little bit, how much do you get back? This is a law. This is real stuff. It's real. If you sow one seed of watermelon, how many watermelons do you get? You got a lot more, right? That's a law. See, that's spiritual. When you do something good, when you work harder, then you get paid for. I'm telling you, there's something spiritual about it. It's like giving. That's why I started understanding the idea of giving. Because when you give, in your church, anywhere, for somehow, some way, you get blessed. Why? Because you always will get more than what you put in. Learn to be a giver. Learn to do more than you get paid for. Become a producer. It's number 7. Become a producer, not just a hard worker. In other words, just looks like you're working, but you're not. And number 8, I already gave it to you. Learn to serve. Be a servant. And number 9 is stay healthy. Stay healthy. I'm telling you, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to stay healthy because I'm getting older. In case you haven't figured that out, we're getting older. I'm getting older. So I don't think like I thought when I was 17 or when I was 20 or when I was 30. I think the same. Things have changed. Right, Mom? That's what I call my wife, by the way, Mom. Stay healthy. I see people, man. I mean, I love tacos too. I like all that greasy stuff. I like sweets. I like it. But man, it's not good for you. Some people can do it though, right? I was talking to my brother the other day. He's like, man, I've been eating this stuff for years. And I went to the doctor. He gave me a perfect bill of health. I said, man, I wish I could do that. I'm all on that level, on the right there on the, what do you call that when you're at the edge? The doctor tells you you're borderline. You're borderline. What do I have to do, doc? You got to stay away from sweets. Well, okay. What else? Everything that's fried. Okay. What else? Greasy burgers. Pues todo lo que me gusta. Hijo de su. So, but that, again, I'm talking about personal growth. You want to, you have to stay healthy. And here's the last one. Associations, which I already kind of mentioned it. Your friends, your associations, who you hang out with, it's a major role in your future. Plays a major role. Let me give you, major, right? Does anybody ever tell you, um, my mom used to tell me, dime con quién te juntas y te diré quién eres. And man, that's such a powerful truth. It's powerful because who you hang around with is who you are. It's just the truth. That's all there is to it. That's it's just how it is. Because you're going to drift towards whoever you hang around with. Because here's what happens to us. Here's what happens to us. We think, right, that maybe we're special. We always think we're special. We're different. Who's ever thought that? I'm different. And he might be your friend, he might be an acquaintance, but you think you're better than him. Or what I'm trying to say, you say, you know what? I'm not going to do what they do. Everybody, we all think we're unique, all of us, and we are. We are in God's eyes. We're very unique. But you need you to get this, you know. But our self-preservation instincts always makes us like, we always think we're, that he's my friend, long time friend, but I'm not like him. But you hang with him. Something's gonna something's gonna happen there. Associations play a major role. Let me tell you how major role it is. This is a huge thing that I teach all the time. Your associations, the people who you call friends, How does it go? Your success or failure in life, your success or failure in your business, your success or failure in your marriage, your success or failure in life will be determined by the people who you hang around with, the people you call friends. 95%. That's huge. That's not just me saying it. I'm telling you, that's a true statistic. So associations are major. So in other words, building new relationships, if you know you had bad relationships, or even if they're not bad people, right? They may be decent people, but they're not good for you. Does that make sense to anybody? Or like me, I pray and ask God to help me put the right people in front of me. Help me to meet the people I need so that I can grow as a person, so that I can grow as a business, so that I can grow as a mentor. I know that people that are smarter than me, they're more intelligent than me, they're more educated than me. So I'm trying to learn how to find people that are better than me. Does that make sense to anybody? And that's how you start improving your life. That's the power of personal growth. I gave you 10 powerful keys that'll change your life forever. You know what? I'll probably put these in a little thing so that if you want them, I'll send them to you. Anybody have anything here before we close? As we pass around the donation bucket. Man, I know I had a donation here somewhere. Oh, I do. I guess my donation. Guys, I want you to keep coming here, so don't feel obligated. Just know that we just pass around a donation bucket all the time. Help us out a little bit, that's all. Anybody have anything to say here? Anybody online? Anybody learn anything? Nobody? Chihuahua. Give him the mic. Vamos a ver.
I can count all of my friends in one hand, and every single one of them, with the exception of my friend Danny, which is a master electrician who lives in Michigan, they all have businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So because we all have businesses, most of us are really busy. We never see each other, and you're in one of those. You're one of those people.
I never see you.
So you're busy doing you. I'm busy doing me.
Mm-hmm.
I see out of all of them, I may see Salvador a little more than everybody. He has his own business.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody that I hang around with is, I want to be around business owners because I want to learn and grow and understand stuff. So, I mean,
Well,
because if you hang around with a bunch of people that are gonna drag you down, or like, nombre, but just get a regular job, just they don't motivate you, then
mm-hmm.
you
That's a perfect example. But of what I mean by it's not necessarily that they're bad people, but they're not going the same place you want to go. So he says he wants to hang around with business people which makes a lot of sense because you learn about business, you learn about what they think about. It doesn't make those people better. In fact, there might be some business owners that he may not want to spend too much time with, but he can learn from them. Does that make sense? There's some people that in your life that you might learn from because everybody has some kind of knowledge and wisdom, but they're not where you want to be, where they are. Maybe you want to go grow more, right? So this is why people, um, there's a lot of people like that think of me as a Christian, and I come to the church because this church, choose to change, life change. This is my life. This is what I do. This is what I chose to do to live by, and I'm gonna call it a profession, if you may. I'm gonna do this because I know that this is what matters in life. I need to learn to make money. to survive and help people to survive. I need to learn how to make money to survive, and I learn how to help people to survive physically and spiritually. That's what I do. Anybody else? Before we close, yeah, ya acabamos. Let me read the last thing that this guy said in his article. He said, "Where is it? Personal growth, personal development is more than simply acquiring new knowledge and insights. Like I just gave you some knowledge and insights. It's also crucial to unlearn old knowledge that has outlived its relevance. Thus, forgetting is probably at least as important as learning." I like that. Forgetting is probably as important as learning. Back to the Apostle Paul, and I'll close with this. He said, "I count all things." He said it like this. Let me see if I can remember. Because he was talking about all the great things, because the Apostle Paul was a great, very smart man. He was a Pharisee. He was very educated. He was wealthy. The Apostle Paul. He left everything. He was a Roman citizen. He was huge. He was a big political guy. But when he met Christ, what he said, I left everything. I count all those things but trash for the excellency of the knowledge of Christ. In other words, a better life. So there's some things that you need to let go of if, right, you want to go to the top, because it's way too crowded at the bottom. So guys, thank you for coming. Anybody else have anything to say? Remember, next week, the money, how money works. It's going to be a really, really good class. Invite somebody. I think it's going to be important. And don't forget about the plate sale. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you for joining us online.